Hi, everybody. It's Sam Straub from Teen Savvy Coaching, where I help parents of teens and tweens step into your parenting role with calm and confidence. As a parenting coach, my work is informed by my many years as a classroom teacher, school administrator, and school counselor for middle and high schoolers, and the fact that I'm a licensed therapist, and I work primarily with adolescents and their parents. So thank you for signing on for the summer video series. And because you've done so, here is your first little tidbit. I call this tool labeling for good, and you use it when your teen has screwed up and you need to give feedback that they've done so, but you also want to stay connected to them and remind them that you see that they can do better than they've just done. So let's say that your child has just mistreated their sibling, slugged their brother, stolen something, acted like a jerk, whatever it was. Pull them aside and say, hey, I just watched you take your brother's whatever, unapologetically, or talk to your brother in such a way that made him like storm out of the room just then. Or I watched you just throw a punch when you could have used words, whatever it was. So you label the behavior that you just saw. And you could stop there and say, you owe your brother an apology, or this isn't how we do things in our household, right? But if you throw in a little labeling for good before you do that next thing, you're going to get more buy-in from your kid. You're going to keep the relationship strong with your kid, and you might bring the defensiveness down a little bit. So here's how that sounds. Hey, I saw you just throw a punch at your brother. That's not how I see you. I don't see you as someone who solves problems with their fists. I see you as someone who maybe has a big heart, gets frustrated easily because you care so deeply about things, but I don't see you as someone who solves problems with their fists. I see you as someone who is peaceful, and so that was really out of character for you. And wait and see what your child says in return. But you have just labeled your kid as a peaceful problem solver. Now, of course, they didn't solve the problem peacefully, but you have just given them that label. And kids do tend to live up to or down to the labels we put on them. So if you want your child to live up to positive labeling, give them the positive labeling, even at times when they have just screwed up, especially at times when they've just screwed up. So they can start to conceive of themselves as someone who doesn't do that behavior again in the future. So that's called labeling for good. And you can use it anytime that, again, when your kid is screwed up, of course, you can offer affirmations all the time, but I like to use it when I'm offering corrective feedback. That's going to be hard for a child to hear, my own or one of my clients or one of my students. I pick a way to define them that is kind of the opposite of what they've just done. And most of them feel like, okay, she sees me as someone who's capable of doing better. And that's what we want when our kids make mistakes. We want them to think I'm capable of doing better so that they don't repeat the same mistakes. They're going to make more mistakes, but we don't want them to make the same mistake over and over again. So try it. Let me know what you think. And you can find me on Facebook at Teen Savvy Coaching with Samantha Straub, on Instagram at Teen Savvy Coaching, and you can drop me a DM either place to let me know how it's going.